They passed the bill, a major bill passed in Congress, which will put money in people's pockets, millions of Americans. Also, the Trump administration announces $10,000 bonus checks. All this and more in this video. However, this sets up another vote in the near distance future, which could mean we may have to do this all over again. I'm going to give you all the details here in this video and what this means for you and the country. So let's jump right in. We're going to go over the details here right now because we are live right now here on the YouTube It's Jimmy Show. Let me know if you can see and hear me. Type yes in the chat. Let me know where you're tuning in from. You can let me know your city, state, or even your country, as we have people tuning in here from all around the globe. Don't forget to hit that like button for me here. And if you haven't yet, subscribe down below so you don't miss out on future videos. I will keep you up to date. Take a look here. Okay, President Donald Trump signs the government funding bill, officially ending the longest government shutdown ever. Today, late last night, the government in the House of Representatives, passed a short-term government funding bill. I'll let you know what's in the bill because it's not just a continuing resolution. There's actually some interesting stuff in that bill. However, this is going to set up a vote in just a little over 2 months, which could lead to yet another major government shutdown. I'll give you the details here right now. This was after the longest government shutdown in history, 43 days. And at the heart of the matter, the core of the matter, which Republicans and Democrats could not agree on, is the health care subsidies, which is set to raise health care premiums for millions and millions of Americans. That issue is not still solved and is going to set up a vote in December or January. And if they don't come to an actual agreement or a compromise on that, we could see yet another major government shutdown here come very soon. That's right. Now, in this government shutdown bill that is now passed, the bill will provide funding for most federal agencies through January 30th, a little bit over 2 months from now. That means if the two parties, Republicans and Democrats, can come to an agreement on another temporary funding bill, or a package that funds agencies through the rest of the fiscal year, much of the federal government could shut down again. The legislation, however, does provide full-year funding for the U.S. Department of Agriculture, the legislative branch, and military construction and the VA, Veterans Affairs. So that is good news in there. This is why there is some interesting things in this bill. This legislation would also fully fund the food stamp program for the rest of the fiscal year, which ends on September 30th. This will also fund immediately the SNAP program, food stamp program, which a lot of people, there's about 42 million Americans that receive food stamps, aka SNAP, will now get their full allocations here coming as soon as they can be sent out. Okay, so this came here after just 48 hours ago or so. The Supreme Court had actually said to not fund full SNAP payments because of the appeal. So the Supreme Court actually stepped in and overruled a federal judge to say do not to fund full SNAP payments, but now this government shutdown bill, which ends the government shutdown, will fund full food stamp payments for over 42 million Americans, mostly seniors, children, and veterans. The deal will also replenish the SNAP contingency fund and fully funds child nutrition programs, including free and reduced price school meals. Plus, it provides $8.2 billion for the WIC food assistance program for women, which serves roughly 7 million pregnant women, new moms, and young children. So you can see here, there's a lot of issues and a lot of money that was not going out to people in need. Also, $460 million for the Commodity Supplemental Food Program, which supplies more than 700,000 low-income senior citizens with monthly food boxes. Also, apparently Congress has done such a poor job here recently that they are concerned about their own security and their own staffs, that they have included an additional $203+ million to beef up their security measures at the House and the Senate. Yeah, you guys can let me know your thoughts on that. And there's also an additional $28 million for protection of the Supreme Court justices and $852 million for the U.S. Capitol Police. Wow. However, at the heart of this matter, the Democrats that decided to vote for this short-term funding bill did so with Republicans agreeing to hold a vote for the health care subsidies to lower health care for Obamacare or the Affordable Care Act or the millions and millions of Americans on that. However, the vote does not have any agreements from Republicans. It just means that they're going to have a vote, okay? And if it doesn't pass, we likely could see another government shutdown because we will end up in the same place where the health care subsidies are not there. Democrats will be against it because Democrats say it's going to raise healthcare premiums for millions and millions of Americans, and Republicans don't want to fund it. So we could be there in just a little bit over 2 months again and see yet another government shutdown. This comes as Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy says that more pain to come before air traffic is back to normal, and that it could take who knows how many days for this to actually happen, and that there has been a lot of air traffic controllers that have either quit or retired during this government shutdown where they did not get paid for 43 days, and that there is going to be a significant problems, maybe even in the medium to long term because of this. Now, the Secretary of Homeland Security, Kristi Noem, announced $10,000 bonuses for, quote, several thousand TSA agents who worked during the government shutdown today. And they're also expected to announce these for air traffic controllers only to ones who worked the entire time and showed exemplary work ethic and didn't call off during this government shutdown. And these $10,000 bonus checks just show that the Trump administration is willing to send out checks to Americans. Remember, they sent out in the Trump's first term the stimulus check number 1, stimulus check number 2, and the executive order stimulus checks that went out to millions of Americans that he did through executive order. Now these $10,000 bonus checks, and Trump has promised the $2,000 tariff rebate stimulus checks here coming in the near future, he said. I'll link you to my video here in a moment that I just did on that with details on that that you can see here in a minute. However, the public is distraught from this government shutdown as consumer sentiment nears its lowest level ever from worries from this government shutdown and inflation that has been persistent in many different categories. The current conditions index slid to 52.3, a drop of nearly 11% in just the last month in consumer sentiment. On a 1 year ago basis, the two measures are down 18% and 36% as well, showing that consumer sentiment is drastically down from a year ago. Quote, with the federal government shutdown dragging on for over a month, consumers are now expressing worries about potential negative consequences for the economy. This month's decline in sentiment was widespread throughout the population, seen across all ages, income, and political affiliation. Across the economy, quote, segments of the population are increasingly dealing with tighter financial conditions. That's certainly true for federal workers and people dependent on food assistance from the federal government, but it is also likely increasingly true for middle-income Americans. Also, this is very important for those on Medicare or for those who have loved ones that want to be. Pay attention. The annual open enrollment period goes from October 15th only until December 7th. If you have Medicare, this is the time to choose your new 2026 plan that works best for you. There has been a lot of Medicare changes recently, and most Medicare plans change, and many just go away entirely. Luckily, my trusted partner, Chapter Medicare, makes comparing every Medicare and Medicare Advantage option easy. They're honest, unbiased, and can review your plan and get you the best one in under 20 minutes. If you're on the right plan for your needs, they'll tell you, and if you're not, they'll help you switch. And by doing this, they've saved people on average around $1,100, which is amazing. They've helped hundreds of people from my community find better plans, and they can help you too. So call this phone number on the screen, 833-700-1320, or click the pinned comment down below in the comments section to connect with Chapter and find the plan that's best for you. So share this video on social media so other people can get this information. If you haven't yet, subscribe down below so you don't miss out on future videos. I will keep you up to date. Click here to see President Donald Trump with brand new details on his $2,000 tariff rebate stimulus check.